There, if you're new to this channel, I am just basically going through some sculpting techniques and live commentary on sculpting work. So I wanted to share the completion of this Sword of Sauron, and I've just got the blade to do. I'm feeling good about the rest of it. It took a long time to get this worked out in detail with, you know, the proportions of the handle and the hilt. Terrible stuff. So I am working on these grooves which are placed in the sword blade itself. I've got a central groove and two side grooves. One's a bit longer than the other. So I'm feeling good about the shape of this one. I just made a bit of a curve on the cylinder that I was using before, and I'll duplicate that. And oh, an interesting thing about the pivot, took me a long time to figure this out. Love the new gizmo, but it often ends up all over the place and not in the perpendicular. So finally discovered, take gizmo off, drag down the old-fashioned one, hold shift, bring the gizmo back, and your gizmo is perfect. And you can even recenter. Beautiful. So now with my duplicated curved object, I can turn that around 180 if I knew what I was doing. Come on, 180 please. Oh, 175 and 5 is 180. So yeah, hopefully, oh no, of course, that's not going to do it. What am I talking about? The way to do this would be to duplicate and mirror. This is a mirror job in the x-axis. Thank you. Easy. Easy peasy. Always look for the easiest way. Now the pivot on this, it's all over the place. Bring that back. And I can drag this down to, oh, it's quite far down. All the way down there. Well, I don't want to change any other distances, so it looks like I'm going to have to just pull the tip back a little bit. And make sure that's okay. The reason for that being the blade is narrower at the bottom. So I need to just, well, yeah. I need to tighten that in a little bit. Just push it back. That's fine. Now, the other thing is the depth of the Boolean. These are for Boolean subtraction. I haven't tested them yet, but you know, I'm going ahead and doing the second one. But we can fix them as a pair. Right, let's try a subtraction and see how the form looks. So good practice is just duplicate one, because you don't know when you're going to need that. Merge those two. subtract, group as Dynamesh sub, get my blade, merge that down, re-Dynamesh, and let's have a look. That's pretty nice. First impression is that the curved tip is a little too deep. Somehow I feel that should maybe go less deep. I'm not sure. Also the curve, now that I'm looking at the reference, the curve seems a little too tight as well. So undo, bring them back, split to parts. Great thing is you can always undo that stuff, but you have to keep an eye on it. Obviously you'll lose lots of information when they just become new parts. Things like names and everything, pivots, everything gets changed and lost. The history, the undo history, of course, being the most important thing. Your undo history is gone forever if you've split your parts. Anyway, let's see. Why? Right, so we want to make that a little bit of a longer tip. Just a touch down like that. Yeah, and I might just lift this tip a touch at the very end. Just lifting that out. And I'll need to do the same on the other side. Let me check my reference. Yeah, it's the same sort of idea. I'm just a little bit too curved. I've got to come down. I'm just gonna just a bit more like that. Yeah. Truly terrifying. Terrifying forms. Now, we can try that again. Merge down. If I have the surface texture color off, then I can easily see which object is being selected, because you know the titles are all similar now. This damn cylinder 3D. Group as Dynamesh sub. Blade, merge it down. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's just, it still looks a bit odd. Let me try, what happens if I, because there's going to be slight adjustments to the blade here anyway. Let me just, take off my symmetry. Yeah. Every curve and every surface in Lord of the Rings is more complex than you imagine at first. All of them. Why is my computer feeling slow? I've got the fastest computer. And not a lot of programs running. I don't need Spotify. Yeah, it's feeling a little strange. Right, I want to just see what I can do about this one as well. Is this more like that? Yeah, that's good. Now, yeah, I'm going to have to do this on the back as well. One way would be to, yeah, having done that, I'm just going to take the front of the blade and place it on the back. So what I'll do is continue, because I've done that, I'm going to continue and perform the last stages of the sword, the blade. Now, what happens here is, the truly horrifying piece of design is that the blade comes in a little, just here. It sort of has this nick underneath. But I'm going to mask that, and I'm going to blur a little for good practice. I'm going to make sure all that is preserved. And then I just need to bring this in. These edges, I'm not too worried about these edges. It's always tricky with edges, but they'll get sanded off in the real world. But I need to create this horrifying kind of just curve underneath that curve. And yeah, this is not that easy, because I don't want to, by doing that, I'm interfering with this beautiful flat plane. So I might want to mask that even more than I realized. I'm gonna mask all that. I mean, the area of this notch is really pretty small. So if I really isolate it, then I can see that as a thing in its own right. Try that. Yeah, horrifying. I mean, how does that work? Because then what I can do is can bring the rest of the blade in with me. Yeah, this is, it's never as easy as it looks. Okay, this is embarrassing. What am I to do here? I'm tempted to come down and rotate. Try to rotate this. Something like that. I mean, how does that affect the blade? Yeah, whatever I do, this is a nightmare. Tell me how I'm going to introduce this strange curve. So this is what it looks like. I need to get my existing blade in a bit, just at the end of that groove. How am I going to get it in? Because it affects the shape of the blade. If I push that back, it's distorting the surface quite dramatically. The other way would be to think about bringing it out from above. Might be easier. Well, question is, how are you going to do that? Because you kind of need to keep all this. Well, I don't know. Let me try it. Oh yeah. Could be the answer. But I'm very reluctant to interfere with the verticals on this. Let's think. If I keep all of this, if I keep everything above that line, you know, just make sure I'm keeping all that. I don't know. So I could try a rotate from the top. That could work. Maybe. If I rotate from up here, I should get a nice sort of notch effect, but I've kept all my
Alert from low battery.
Okay. Don't need to sound so dramatic. Power, power, here we come. Sorry, horrible noises. Yeah, this is practical, but I think I need to just soften this a bit. I need to just soften here with the regular freehand. I soften that, and then we try again. This might work. Yeah, this is the kind of effect. Now the problem is the angle is yeah. Yeah, I mean it's not a large area. And it's not a large niche thing kind of sticks out. It's quite subtle, but it's very recognizable. So if I want to fix this angle, the new angle is not, as vertical as the previous one. I can come halfway down and I can rectify that without losing the notch problem. Now I can even drag the whole thing out a touch. Yeah, but that's the problem. You're going to have, whichever way you do it, you're going to muck up your flat plane. Yeah, it's no good. It's, you see, there's a different angle now. I don't know what to do. This is very tricky. You see, whatever you look at with these Lord of the Rings designs, they're very tricky. I don't really know what to do. Can't I just stop mucking about and just take that area and just pull it out a little bit? Can you not just do that? If I just went like that, that's all you have to do. I mean, really, making a big meal out of it. It's just that. It's that. That. And then this would have to be fixed somehow. But that's really quite good. I hope you can't hear my son swearing in the distance. Right, still feel like this point should come down a bit more. Now how can we straighten this up? I don't want to affect that. Okay, well, it's kind of crazy, but it sort of works. I need a dark background for this. I'm getting the notch. I'm getting it. It's just very tricky. And I hate that I've got to go and straighten this blade. But I think that might be better than anything below it, which is much longer, and changing the angles of any of these lovely booleans. So if I just blur around the edge of that, then I'm treating basically this whole area giving it the same slight pull out. So I've got to keep this line really straight. I'd be gutted if I don't have this straight. Good lord, this is like 4 million polygons and it looks like shit. I don't know. I mean, this can be sanded off nicely later on. I don't see the point in me spending hours trying to get a really nice blade when it would be a pleasing and simple matter to sand it off. Oh, hang on, I was touching my... I was about to interfere with my notch there. Now the notch has to be continuous above the point. It has to be pretty straight from here. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about that now. That took a while. Took a while, but I think it's the kind of effect we want. Yeah, I mean that's about it. It's very hard to tell with the reference images, but you know, you get the feeling that there's a slight rise here. There would be. I mean, this is what I've been battling against in the making of this form, but kind of expect it to just rise up a touch here. If I can just go in and accentuate that a little bit. I don't know what's going on. My masking feels a bit slow. I don't know why. fast computer. Now, if I just put a touch of volume on here, take that intensity right down. Yeah, this kind of effect. Give me the flatten tool, please. Yeah, I mean something like this. It just rises up a little here. And it gives it an even more sinister look. Something like that. Yeah. Ooh, nice. Get the idea? Yeah. See, this is where these little details, but then you think you have an important detail, it turns out not to be true. But the problem is these objects, they often don't have very much reference material, and unless you actually have an object that already exists, if you've collected something. Well, then you might be able to just scan it. But if you don't have it and you want it, and you can see a picture of how it should look, or how it used to look, then perhaps you can recreate it for yourself. Now that's pretty nice. You see, these are the kind of details that make this sword now I imagine something similar on the other side. Yeah, I mean it's basically of course it is something like that on the left. So, well, in the end I opted for just doing it by hand, but I masked. What did I mask? I don't know, just the area and a little bit south of that. I just pulled it out. I don't know, something like this. Yeah. Yeah, it's just the curve up to the point, so I need to pull that in. Yeah, nice. Don't worry about the back, it's not important at all, because it's going to be replaced. Yeah, now what I did was I masked up to here, was it? No. Yeah. It's not a straight object. What are you doing? It's straight in this angle. No, it's not. It's not straight in this angle. I can't remember what I did, but the important thing is to keep this face, this edge face. Yeah, okay. I'm working here. Alright, that's good. Keep all that. Now, I'm going to have to pull all that stuff out. All that blade. This one is even longer. You know, I want this to look straight. I mean, there is some texture on this object. I'm going to have to scuff it up a bit, but not a huge amount. It's yeah, it's going to have to look used, like it's killed a few men or something. Right, well, let's take a look down the edge here. We'll see from this angle. Okay. Just pull all this stuff out. Yeah, well, not too bad. Right, I'm feeling pretty good about these. Maybe just do the same again with this side. Get some a bit of material build up. So with the what do you call it? Flatten. I can press Option and fill that area below. Something going on with the memory. It's having to catch up with itself. I don't really understand why. I would restart, but it's tiresome. Okay. What the hell is that? Some kind of military helicopter. Is that a Chinook? Bloody sounds like it. Right, that's pretty cool. That's cool and devastating in the extreme. Right, now, what I could do is take half of this away. Yeah, obviously from this angle. And flip it. Flip it good. Hang on, is that straight? Yeah. So if I cut this off, just behind the halfway line. If I delete that and redynamesh, then I can duplicate it. Flip it in the Z. And there it is. But it's not centered, so I'm gonna have to manually bring it back. Okay, that's good. Some pretty good work on this blade. Tiresome in places, deceptive, difficult. There's a bit more detail to go down here. Look, that doesn't look like too much trouble. Let's have a look here. So you would do what? You would mask. Let's mask with symmetry on. You mask up here. Yeah, I mean it's this kind of V shape. Maybe a slight curve. Just a slight curve. And then I want to bring that up. Yeah, well, oh, what's going on at the back? Is this object not in the center of the world? I would have expected that to be perfect at the back. It's weird. Well, I think that's better. Yeah. I don't understand why things would ever slip away from their 0 position. It does feel like you sometimes have to check. And that they're whoa, this is way off center now. What the hell? How can this whole object be off? Anyway, all right, so we would, what would we do? Inflate? It's a strange thing, I'm not sure if there's a kind of lip. I think it's more like a lip. In which case, I might want to do something more like this. Yeah, I mean, this is the idea. Devil of a thing. A devil of a thing, after all.